What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kraken Hunters. Carolina Hitman.
I'm Anubis.
Today we got another Quarter of the Dead piece to review for you. And
God, we love Quarter of the Dead, man.
We do. It's like a baby.
Yeah, it really is.
One of our kids. But today we have the new Shard Faith Bearer's Fury premium format figure to review for y'all today. I am excited to jump into this one because
so the premium format comes with what was the original? Come with the shield, right?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I think the axe is the original, the shield just switch out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's got the arrows and stuff, which I actually like the buckler.
Yeah, I kind of like it too. It's some pretty good. All right, well, we'll talk about that.
Oh, yeah. But so everybody, if you watched our videos before, you already know how we do things, man. We talk about the sculpt and
well, we start with the base, pose, sculpt, portrait.
The sculpt and portrait are basically the same thing.
Yeah, paint application and then overall.
Yep. So I'm ready to dive right on into this one.
Yeah.
So let's get it started. So first we'll talk about the base.
Well, I was thinking we talk about Shard for a minute because we've been watching this video, or we've been waiting for this one to come out for
a year now.
No, it's been longer than that because they released it like 2 years ago, or they released a prototype.
Right.
And then they stopped. For some reason, they stopped the production on it or whatever.
I'm not saying I don't know if they stopped the production. They just didn't release any new info.
Right? Yeah, they didn't. And that was like 2 years ago.
Right.
And now this just got released.
Yep.
2 years later.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to dive into this.
Yeah, let's go ahead and dive into the base.
All right. So the base. So what we're going to do first, so we can actually see the base and everybody can see the base. Since this actually comes off pretty easily, we just you can just.
It's buttons.
Buttons. There we go. Good strong magnet in there. So yeah, we'll just take this off for right now.
Her cloak.
Which I ain't gonna lie, I prefer it without it, to be honest with you.
You think so?
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man. Well, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. But as you can
see the base.
Now the base, again, this is one of my, I don't want to say pet peeves, but this is one of the knocks against the Quarter of the Dead I have. It's with the exception of maybe one. Melvestros,
Gethsemane, or no, Gallivar, Gethsemane, Death.
Now I would say, with the exception of Gethsemane and maybe a couple more, for the most part, the bases are pretty lackluster. There's not really nothing.
Gethsemane's base is awesome.
Oh yeah, because her whole base is the underwater theme.
Gallivar, I'm sorry.
Gallivar,
yeah. Sorry.
But that's because hers is like basically an underwater theme,
right.
So they did an excellent job on that. But her base is pretty standard, just stones, got a broken sword.
Broken stuff.
I guess, is
like
that
staff pieces?
I guess
staff heads.
Something like that, yeah.
For like a flag.
And you got the crosses on the side of the base and everything like
the
that.
Celtic cross and the you got like the Crusader cross.
Right. Now, one thing I will say about this is they do a good job. Well, I would say a good job on replicating stone
and mud.
Yeah, well, I'm not so sure about the mud. The mud.
The mud looks really good.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
And the stone and the blood spatter.
Right. So I mean, the base itself is well done. Like I said, it simulates stone and everything very well. The mud. I'm not a fan of the blood. I think the blood spatter could have probably been done just a little bit better, but that's just a minor thing. But overall, I really like the base. It fits with the war theme going on.
Yeah, because you can tell.
This is before she went to the underworld.
Yeah, you can tell that this is a battle. This is a battle area, battle stage, or
battle hardened warrior.
No. I'm saying like this is actually a war zone that she's.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because you see the blood on some of her on her armor and everything like that. So this is an ongoing battle.
And you can tell one of her fallen crusaders because that's a crusader sword.
Right.
It shows the same symbol.
Faith bearer sword. Yeah, that's what it's. If I'm not mistaken, that's what it's called.
Same symbol on her sword right up here. So
right.
I think that's pretty good little side.
So I mean, overall, I like the base. I don't think it's nothing. Well, I like the base. It's nothing special. Nothing.
Like the base. You don't love it though, do you?
I'm not in love with it. No, I mean I think it fits with the character, what's going on, and everything like that. But the base, I like the base. It's not nothing I'm in love with, and
I like this, but I'm not in love with it.
And that's basically it. Yeah, that's basically it. I like it, but I'm not in love with it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Right, and I think that we've talked about it before. You don't want the base to overshadow the actual statue.
Yeah, we can agree with that.
Yeah, so overall, I would give the base probably a good solid B. Yeah, I'll give it a B. Nothing spectacular, nothing bad, just right there.
Just a good B.
Yeah, just a good B. Yeah, just a good B.
I'm in.
All right, so that's the base, everybody.
Right.
So next,
pose.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the pose. Now, I actually really like this pose because
It's a very
action-oriented pose for me.
I'm trying to think of the word. I can't remember. We've used it before. I can't remember what we would say, but it's like in the motion, very dynamic. There you go. It's a very dynamic pose. And it's actually really fun because you can tell she is just really pissed off and ready to chop somebody's head off again.
Yep.
Because you can tell she's done it a
And
few
even
times.
like her stance with her boots, where one's flat-footed and one is getting ready like to use the weight, lunge or something like that.
The pivot, I guess.
So I think they did motion very well.
Yeah.
And just it's a very good action pose. It's not simple. It's not nothing plain. It's a very good action pose.
Yeah, it's very dynamic, and it almost seems kind of fluid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like she's just in that motion of, all right, I'm ready. I'm about to take this dude's head off.
Right.
You know.
And I love, like I said, the main thing for me that sets it off is that pivot foot where you're getting ready. You tell she's getting ready to make a move to either lunge with this sword or maybe
kind of bring it around,
or maybe had just come down with the axe. That's why maybe just already did an action with.
No,
with
this is more like a lunge kind of.
So you think she's getting ready to lunge with the sword? Yeah. Like I said, so that's one of the things that I think really helps sell the motion is the pivot foot. I know it seems a little silly or small, but I think that one little detail helps sell the motion.
Even the most minute things can change the whole dynamic
I
of the
agree.
statue. You know what I mean? I mean, even the smallest thing could really just kind of ruin it.
Or
ruin it, or rise it up.
Yeah, and I'm gonna talk about one of the things that lowers it a little bit later on.
Right.
But yeah.
So I mean, I'm kind of digging the pose, dude.
I would give the pose an A.
Yeah,
I think they did a
I would
good job.
definitely say a straight A on the pose because I'm digging how fluid it looks.
I think this is probably one of the best poses out of the Court of the Dead as far as motion and everything like that.
I don't know if I would go that far.
I would, because I'm looking now. I don't think any other Court of the Dead one, with the which hers is not really showing motion, it's just showing the finish, basically the finish.
Triumphant.
Yeah. So I think hers is probably the best pose as far as showing action and fitting the statue itself. I think hers is probably one of the best ones.
Gallivar version 2, I think, is the best that when it comes to showing motion.
Yeah, it's because of the centipede legs. Yeah, I know, right. But I would give the pose a good solid A. I think they did a good job on the pose, especially for a pose that would fit this particular character.
Yeah, I'm really kind of digging the pose, man. Definitely an A. I would give that definitely an A.
So we'll move on to the sculpt / portrait.
Yep.
All right, now the sculpt on this thing I think is top notch. Like I love the look. Like you could tell this isn't chainmail around her.
It's close. It looks like it.
It looks exactly. That's where I think the sculpt stands out. For the chain, even look at the way the chainmail twists with her arm. Yeah, so
it does it with all that and her legs.
Right, they did an excellent job on simulating the chainmail, and I love the armor as a whole, as far as the divots in it. It looks like real armor.
The points of articulation is what you're thinking. I think is what you're trying to go for.
So I think the sculpt on this thing is fantastic. Like I think that the armor, all the different cravats of the armor, just everything about this works. It works. You even got dents on the side of her armor right here on her leg.
Hit. You got cuts.
Yeah, so
into the armor.
And it looks like actual metal where it bent in and everything like that. So they did a good job with the shading and the highlights to really make it stand out as metal.
The battle damage armor. I think they did a good job with that. And plus with, Carolina didn't notice this, but on her hand, they sculpted in a huge scar across her fingers, which I thought they did a really, really damn good job doing that. And makes her think I should probably have a cross guard on.
Yeah.
Or or use my shield.
Yeah.
Because you can see right here on her left arm where she'd been hit in the forearm.
Right.
With like a long sword or something.
And to me, that's a testament to the level of warrior she is, man. Because you can see all the damage she's taken.
Yeah.
And hit and still
look
ready.
at this big hit right
I know.
here.
Almost to her, almost inside
all the way
the armor.
through the armor.
I do like the well, that's mixed media.
Yeah.
We'll go on.
Well,
about
the
that.
mixed media I think goes along with the sculpt.
Right. Now, one thing I am disappointed in, Quarter Dead and Sideshow, I'm disappointed in you right now for the simple fact that these swords, well, the sword and axe are not metal. On the original Shard, you gave us 2 metal swords for almost the exact same price as this one.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm sorry. Even if you got to bump the price up a little bit, which I can understand, why would you make something metal in one statue? And then, yes, it's the same thing with Kair. Like Kair, her original version had a metal sword. The second version didn't.
Well,
which that exclusive more than makes up for that one. That's yeah. I mean, that more than makes up for that.
Does Kair have a metal sword in the first version?
Yes, she does.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Well, there's a difference between the
bullshit.
the pose, I think. You can't really say it with this one.
Well, I mean, you look at
with this one, the pose.
Well, the pose will be the same thing. I mean, that'd be funny. Kair's pose will be the same way with her swords. The way she's holding it, the position that she's holding it in, will be the same thing.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Shard swords are thicker. Hers are just longer, but Shard swords are thicker than hers, and it's not causing issues.
Right.
There's no reason why these shouldn't be metal. Sideshow, Quarter Dead. I'm a little disappointed in that. Because you guys have spoiled me with the metal weapons and stuff like that. I expect that now. So please, let's keep these metal.
What the hell, man?
Yeah, let's keep the metal going. But overall, I think the sculpt is amazing.
Yeah, the sculpt is
really
amazing,
good.
and I'm really kind of digging the mixed media. You kind of had to have it with Shard because of where she's actually a Crusader before she's in.
Right.
Before she goes into the underworld, this is like her full Crusader gear, and they always wore that robe. Right,
and I think that this would have been, I'm not saying it would have been hard to sculpt because it wouldn't have been. I think that this would have been.
I think it looks better.
But not even just that, I think it would have been more of a chance for some breakage during shipping with Sideshow's cheap ass packaging.
It depends on if they. It depends on what material if they use like the stuff that they use with Poxel. That's that's actually pretty hard to break.
Yeah, that's true. The vinyl.
Yeah, the problem with that though is it kind of molds. Like it fit. Like if it's been in a certain spot for so long, that's how it forms.
I mean, not all the time. Like Poxel, he's one of the good ones.
Right.
Hell,
my Joker that we did is made out of that vinyl.
Then it looks good.
Right. As long as it's done right.
Right. But yeah, sculpt is good. My only so I would give the sculpt a solid A. Now, A plus. I would give the sculpt an A plus.
Yeah. Now with the mixed media, what do you give it?
I would still give it A plus. Okay. I'm a fan of mixed media when it's done right. What I like about this is that they made it to where you can pose her with or without her cape.
Right.
So I do it because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not that much of a fan of the cape. I think it's a little too big. I prefer just this right here.
See, I'm actually kind of a fan of the cape, dude. I think that adds more dynamic and more fluidity to the statue.
Yeah, but I think it's too much. It's just too big. I think the cape should. Look how big it is. It's huge. Yeah. Like the cape is huge.
That's awesome, though, man.
I'm not saying it's not, but it's just too much for this small statue. I think if it had been maybe a little bit smaller, it would have looked better.
Right.
I just would have preferred it to be a little bit smaller.
Shit, I like how they put the red in her hair, too.
Mm-hmm. Now, we're going to go on to my main issue with the statue.
The portrait.
Yes. This is I'm not going to say shitty portrait, because it's not a shitty portrait, but this is absolutely not one of the Quarter Dead's best portraits. I think they messed up on the teeth.
Now, they're supposed to look grimy.
Are you sure? Because
dude, every female that's a warrior has grimy teeth.
Remember, they're dead. She's not. She's still alive.
She's still fighting in a pit of mud.
I'm not denying that. I think the teeth just...
They're supposed to look grimy. I think they didn't do a very good job with individualizing the teeth. You know what I mean?
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
They're supposed to be grimy. Plus, she's a Crusader, man. They didn't have the best hygiene.
Well, fair enough. So, I think they did a good job with her scar. and everything. But overall, man, I'm not a fan of this portrait.
I like the way they did her face. I'm not a big fan of the way they did her teeth. Maybe if they would, well, no, you can't really have this.
I think the snarl should have.
Yeah, I don't think you can have this without the snarl.
Yeah, I think that the snarl may be a little too much. Maybe if they had like backed off a little bit from that.
She got blood in her mouth too.
I'm not a fan of this portrait.
Yeah, see, I don't think they did a very good job with like the sculpting of her teeth.
Right, and the sculpting and separation.
The actual grime and stuff like that, I agree with that because
I can understand it because they didn't have toothpaste back then.
Right, they had like sticks that they used to clean their teeth or whatever, something like that.
Right, so I can understand that. I just think that they kind of dropped the ball on this sculpt. Like
look at the vein coming out of her neck, you know.
Yeah, but again, that portrait is off. It just looks off.
Yeah, see that?
I like the hair and everything else. Just the face itself is not doing it for me.
Right.
That's hard for me to say for a quarter dead piece. Like
it's just not hitting on all cylinders.
It's not, and it really isn't. And I'm not gonna bite my tongue on it. I think the sculpt the portrait should have been a lot better than what it is, especially when you compare it to, which we will do a comparison video, when you compare it to the original shard. That face is amazing. This one, I think they tried to go a little too hard with the action, and just it grimacing in the form of combat. I think they just overplayed that just a little bit too much.
And Kyrie's not dead. She's a Valkyrie. She was she's like a Valkyrie used to be before her wings got cut off.
Right. Well,
so she's not technically dead.
Technically, but you know what I mean. But yeah, that sculpt, man, I'm gonna have to get that sculpt probably. I mean, the portrait. I'm gonna have to get that portrait probably a good C-.
Nah, see, I can't do that. I can't go that low. I can't because I actually really enjoy it, and I don't think you could do the sculpt without the snarl and it still keep that warrior pose. You know what I mean? And that's that dynamic pose. I mean, you can tell she's pissed off. She got vein coming out. I'm gonna have to give it a B-.
That's fair enough.
I can't go low as a C because the way they did her hair and the way her face actually looks, dude.
I love
all the
veins,
the veins and the folds and stuff in her face.
Right.
And the way they did the scar and the wrinkles when she's snarling.
Right.
I mean, I think they did an excellent job with it. It's that teeth that kind of throws me off a little bit because that's what you're looking at and you're like,
right.
Okay.
And I can understand.
Those aren't sculpted great.
Yeah. This one doesn't do it for me, man.
You know what? I'm gonna move it up a little. I'm gonna give it a straight B.
Straight B.
Yeah, because I don't know, for some reason that's what I feel like.
Like I said, I had to give it a C-, man. This is one of my. This is my least favorite sculpt and portrait. I mean, this least favorite portrait out of all my quarter dead figures.
That's crazy. Yeah.
This is my least favorite one.
Really?
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the paint application.
Paint app.
Now the paint application
on the statue.
I can't have no complaints.
I do.
Everything, really.
Yep.
Like for me, I think they did a good job on simulating the metal because you even get little hints of brightness in the metal.
Like I said, I only have the one complaint, and that's just on this sword.
Yes.
All right, so they did this shine that's supposed to kind of simulate where. I don't know how they do that, but where it's kind of like grinded down.
Right.
Where it's supposed to be got like a little angle. Now, the shine that they did, they used this white kind of paint, and it's crooked.
Right. Right. Like I said, now.
And it's too bright, and it's too thick in some spots. It's kind of like.
Well, blood would be blood. I mean,
no. Look at the shine spot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
See how it's all crooked and blotchy? But the blood itself, too, also, like on the underside of the sword, that's just kind of like, here, look, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, her whole arm. See, look, like, right here where it's kind of like,
it looks shitty.
I can't say shitty, but it's kind of,
It looks shitty. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think they could have done a better job with the blood. Like, the blood on the axe.
Blood on the axe, on the other hand.
It looks good. Yeah, now, that looks good. It's got the right kind of sheen to it.
Yeah.
To where, like, it's basically freshly.
And I think they did
a
great job with like the little notches in the blade and all the damage that's come from her fighting. It simulates that look real good.
I agree. And I think we forgot to talk about the buckler. I think this is sculpted very well too. Like even the paint on it, it looks like wood.
It does look like wood.
The arrows are done. Yeah, arrows are done. Well, it looks like wood. Look,
I'm talking looking at the feathers on the arrow.
Oh yeah, they look good.
Yeah, they look good too.
Like I said,
oh shit! Look at her hand on this one. It's got blood all over
blood
it.
all over that.
Grime in her fingernails.
Let's pose it with this one right quick.
Oh, wait, look, and it's the only skulls. No, wait, never mind. There's no skulls on this. There's no skulls on this one.
There we go.
Shit, I kind of like that.
Which I like the buckler. I think it fits with the sword and everything, which I don't know. I still like the axe though.
Yeah, that seems like you have to pose it with the axe.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I love the pan application because, like I was saying, like you can see hints of brightness in the armor to where it really sells like there's nicks and stuff like that, where it looks like someone's nicked her armor.
Fresh nick.
Yeah, so I think they did an amazing.
Hell, they even got some of them that look like they're pretty old scars on the armor. You know what I mean?
So, I love the fact that they even did some detail here, like the things
the hinges.
Hinges, whatever you want to call those.
Or whatever.
I'm a fan. Like I said, I think the pan application is really well done, with the exception of the blood
sword.
And this sword and the blood on the sword. I love how they got her hands real grimy from the battle and stuff like that.
Yeah. Here, go ahead.
What are you doing?
Pose it with the axe again. Yeah. I like the axe.
But yeah, they got her hands nice and grimy from battle.
Yeah, and the nicks on the blades, the actual hilt of the axe, it's
right?
really good.
Yeah, okay, that's right. Yeah, but yeah, I think the pan application, even though I think
the color is faded right here on her forearm
and on this
gauntlet.
one too. Yeah, and they even got a dent going through the cross on this one too.
Man, that had to have broken her arm.
Although I'm not a fan of the face sculpt, I think the paint application is still decent on that. I agree with you. They get that the red in her hair back here.
Yeah, like her braids.
Yeah. So overall, I would give the paint application an A.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a straight A also.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to overall. All right. So overall, man, what are your opinions about this statue?
All right. So overall, we look at the base. We gave that a good solid B. Okay. Now we go to the pose. We gave that a good A. Paint application, we gave an A. Sculpt an A. Portrait, you gave a C minus, which is really lower in the grade. And we'll go by, and I gave it a B. So I don't know, man. If I go by overall and concept and look and all that, dude, I honestly think it's going to be a good B minus.
Think a B minus? We didn't get the grade, but so overall, do you like the statue?
Hell yeah, I like the statue, of course, man. I think it's awesome, dude. And plus, I love the cape, man.
That's what I'm putting it back on there.
And plus, they actually did weathering on the cape too. Not like a kind of damage weathering, but you can see like the dirt and shit that she's using. Dirt and mud, and they sewed into her symbols for the Crusader.
There we go. Right. Yep. So I mean, I'm like I said, I just think the cape is a little bit too big, especially for somebody in the midst of battle. It's just a big ass cape that looks like it's gonna get in the way. Even Batman's cape ain't that damn big.
Yeah, it is.
No, I don't think. Well, yeah, it probably is that big.
Yeah, but he needs it because he glides.
Right.
A lot.
But overall, like I said, man, I'm a fan of the statue. I think the portrait is a miss, but minus the portrait, everything else on the statue clicks.
Yeah, I feel like the cape. If I was going into battle, I would take the cape off.
Yeah, exactly.
That's more like for
somebody need to grab the damn cape and hit you in the head or something.
Well, not just that. I mean, the cape's more used for like keeping warm during the winter,
right
at night and stuff. So like kind of wandering around.
Like I just think the cape is just a little too big.
You think so?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, it is kind of big.
It's
but
big as shit.
It would work with if you used it to like roam around, for like your actual walking, marching.
Like I said, I'm not saying this isn't a bad. Like I said, overall I love the statue.
Yeah,
I think the portrait just a bit of a miss, a pretty big miss for me.
Yeah,
I do love
that's like one of the biggest misses I've ever heard you say.
Yeah, because I love the way you can see like the hair on the side of her face. It's like sweating and everything. So like I said, if they had just touched up the portrait, I think this would be probably one of the best ones they've come out with. Because I think the statue itself, I would give it a top 10 just for the look of it, minus the portrait.
Kind of like the overall concept.
Yeah, exactly. The overall concept of it, I think it would be a top 10 according to their statue.
I can get with that. Because I mean, it is nice to actually see the women coming in and actually doing battle poses. Right. You know, because I mean, we saw it with Galavarb in the second version of Kair, the triumphant, and hell, even the second version of Gethsemane, where it's kind of like she's coming into battle. You know,
Right.
Of course, she's more of a mage. You know, mage.
Oh yeah.
Using all her magic and
Right.
stuff rather than actual fighting.
Right. All right. So let's give our review. Let's give our rating, man.
Yeah.
All right. So it's time to move on to our rating here. All right. So in your opinion, what would be the rating you would give this statue?
Honestly, I think that the rating should be a B+.
B plus.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. I would say because for me, everything else is an A plus. The portrait for me, because I'm not worried. I can repaint the. I can probably repaint and put it.
You know,
on
I
the
keep
blunt.
forgetting about that.
Yeah, so I mean, I think they could have been done better, but it's not. It's
Right.
not no major thing against the statue. With that portrait for me though, it knocks it down to for me a straight B. Like it just that portrait, man, it just doesn't do anything for me. I think that this is the worst portrait that the Court of the Dead has produced out of all their statues. I think every other portrait I've not complained one thing about. This is the only one I've had a complaint about the portrait, and deservedly so. I just think that portrait should have been tightened up, especially with how long they've had this thing in prototype stages.
Man?
That's another thing.
Yeah, 2 years.
It's that face should have been tightened up because the prototype pictures were a lot better than that.
Hell, the ones 2 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. So I just think that a straight B for me is what I would give it.
Yeah. All right. I don't know, man. I'm gonna give it a B+.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm sticking with the B+. Because I really enjoy it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining us today on this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification to get notified of our future videos.
Let us know in the comment section
Yes.
what y'all think.
Yes, let us know what you think about this one, man, because I'm curious to hear some different perspectives on this one right
You
here.
heard ours. Let's hear yours.
That's right. But all right, everybody, we'll see y'all next time. Hopefully, the next time we see y'all, we'll be doing a comparison between the version 1 and version 2 of this.
Yep.
All right, well, thank you for joining Kraken Hunters. See you next time. Peace.